Now let's add in some more of these copper rivets and whatnot that I've done here real quick. So I don't need the brass and the wood showing. We're looking at the copper. I'll just go on top and I'm going to paste in a copper swatch that I found. It's pretty large. It's a gigantic texture, so I'm just going to scale it down, try and get the grain closer to what I'm looking for. Close enough probably for these. We'll be able to adjust them on the fly as we go. Now hit enter just so you can set that in place, and then we're going to make sure that we ensure that it's only affecting the bottom here, and that is with our clipping mask. So holding down Alt, putting your mouse in between those two, we'll clip it out so it's only on top of those elements that we can see with the copper here. And then we want it to be completely invisible. So if you add a layer mask, you could then fill it with black. Or what you can do is you can Alt-click it and it'll automatically fill it with black. Okay, so now show your wireframe so that we have a guide as to where things are going. Go over to the brush, and we're going to pick a nice clean brush. So we want a brush that is, completely hard and round, and we don't want any pressure sensitivity on the size or anything. We want to make sure that the opacity is 100%. Set it to the size that you want your rivets to be, and then we can go in and just paint in white. So I just need to flip the foreground background color with X, and I can go around and I can just paint dots where I want them to be. Now those don't look much like rivets. Well, if we go in and add some effects and whatnot, so we're going to do just a drop shadow to begin with, and you can see that now it kind of adds an ambient occlusion. The way I've done that is I've taken the distances, usually offset some, just set it to 0, so it just gives a little puddle. And then you can play with the opacity of that, and you can play with the size of that. We want them probably pretty tight like that maybe, or something. Get something that looks pretty cool. And then we should also add a bevel and emboss, and that'll round out the tops of them a little bit and kind of fake it. And again, it's kind of playing with your depth and getting the depth of it and the size of it, just to get a little bit of a kind of a little edge around them. You want the shadow point to be relatively near the middle, so it doesn't sort of really cause too much of a shadow on it. But that looks pretty good now. So now you can literally go around and just add them wherever you need them. With shapes like this, which is the spout, we got to be a little careful. This it's stretched because it's a multi-curve surface, and it wasn't even a multi-curve surface like the lid piece was. It's going to come out a little wonky when you do this, but you're going to find that it's not exactly what you expect. Now, are these evenly spaced on the model even? So this is where 3D painting textures, is obviously a whole lot better. But, step one, let's put some rivets in there. Let's take a look up the center and maybe put some up there as well, and, make it look a little more steampunk and play with that. We could then also color correct those rivets and everything and check it out. So again, I'm just going to turn off the unwrap. I've actually moved the logo up a little bit, and I'm going to export this as a PNG back over the base color, and of course make sure that I save the PSD file. And now you can see we've got rivets and they go around, and I've avoided the seam here with the rivets because maybe we could put another one close in there or something and I've got them up there, and it looks like it's a little offset. I'm not sure if I'd moved my UVs when I was messing around with all this.